And so I don't need the extra motivation like some people do to keep going, to go further, to do the best that they can do. And so it took me a little bit to finally just be like, it's okay. It's okay where I am. Yep. God is not upset with me that
Maddie mental health checkup.
April edition. April.
Got your Mickey jacket on?
I do. Getting ready. Got Disney coming up a couple different times. Getting ready.
Actually, this week we are going to Des Moines and to Illinois to do some revival services there, to connect with our campus churches there, and asked, hey, do you want to go with us? And you could tell there was this
tug.
Yes, I do, but no, I don't. I don't know if I need to.
Right.
But I want to, and I don't want to disappoint you by saying no. So I don't know what to do. And I was like, you don't have to say yes to this. If this is something you need to say no to, and you were like, I don't need to go. And I was like, okay, perfect.
Yeah. It was an internal struggle because it is something that I would love to do. I would love to go even up to like our Clemson campus. I would love to go do that and, hang out with the people and meet people and talk to people. But I know what is best for me in these situations when like traveling, if there's not an adequate amount of time for me to have rest periods, then it can put me in a funk-ish type setting.
Has been known to. Doesn't
happen every time.
Yeah.
But I also don't want it to happen.
Right.
And I'm not ready to test the waters.
Yeah.
To see if it will
sometimes you
happen.
are and sometimes you're not.
I think it depends on the trip. I think it depends on the trip. Like I know that I have my little book.
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to talk through? What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
These are notes you just have to do some counseling sessions, some things that are helpful to you as she's talking with you, and some things that just the Lord's revealing to you during the seasons, and what's being said.
Right. So I will go into, I had been feeling, not now, but I would say probably the end of March.
Okay. Let's get them called up. Let's just be honest with the people. Here we go. Maddie struggles being satisfied with where she is.
With
medicine.
Okay, so no, I don't struggle being satisfied.
Yes, you do.
I love being satisfied where my mind is good. And then if it gets triggered just the tiniest bit, instead of me saying things like, oh, this was a period of time that this what happened and this happened and this happened and extended fast and sacred season and wedding and just not slowing down, and finally, things started slowing down, and it all kind of just caught up to me. So,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't
bad
like
at all.
It wasn't like, oh my goodness, Maddie's having panic attacks or anything like that.
I did have one.
It was just moments of like, okay, I could tell you were tense over there. What's going on?
Right.
What are you doing? You cut bangs in your hair.
Don't do that.
Just
don't do it. Listen to a 44-year-old lady.
Don't
cut bangs.
This is what you do when you get in those seasons. You're like, bangs will make everything feel better, and
just something different. You want to I always try to find something different to maybe not pull me out of a funk, but kind of like, oh, well, maybe this can help or this can help, instead of literally just like Remy teaching generational service. She spoke on anxiety.
So good.
It was so good. And it's just, even for myself, who I feel like is somewhat seasoned in anxiety, being in the 40s, but not as well, because, it's different for everybody. But sometimes it's not. It's for you to draw closer to God. She was saying, don't look at it as, oh, why is this happening to me? What's going on with me? And instead turn it around like, oh, this is
Flip
a way.
the script.
Flip the script.
Flip
the script. This is my time to get closer to God, because we do get into those where we feel safe and we feel comfortable and,
Let down your guard.
we kind of let our guard down, and we, don't read the word as much, or we don't do things that you used to do. And it just kind of.
It's one of the things I used to say to you a lot is you can't earn your peace by praying and reading and studying and worshiping and all the things. You can't earn your peace that way, but it is very peaceful. When you continue with these habits in your life, it's going to create a place of peace for you. And so the hard part early on through this process was you were, well, I'm not reading enough, I'm not praying enough, I'm not worshiping enough, I'm not doing enough to earn the freedom. But then the flip side is, if you're not careful, once you find that freedom, you say, well, I don't need those things, or those things aren't as valuable.
Need them.
Yeah, they're
Right.
not as valuable to my
Right.
life because I'm not hanging on to every word or every prayer or everything. And so that battle of, hey, keep these habits in your life and flip the script in those moments and draw back to the Lord. So you decided, I'm gonna swap up some medicine.
Well, my body was finally relaxing, and I was able to kind of be processing everything that had been going on. And so I felt a little uneasiness. And anybody that has felt uneasiness in their mind and then has been really good for half a year, and then you start to feel those uneasiness.
You're afraid you're going to take this landslide down
Absolutely.
back to where you were a couple years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is definitely a trauma.
Rather than
Trauma
saying,
trigger for me.
okay, look at everything that's happened. There's a lot. I probably need to not do X, Y, Z.
Right.
Let's change some things. Instead you
I
went
said,
straight to
my medicine's probably, well, I tried to get on my ADHD medicine again because
I fought against, because it was not good for you last time.
it wasn't, but it helped me. It really helped me focus and concentrate on things that I was doing.
All you can see is that one 6-hour process and not the aftermath
Right.
of when you were coming off of it. And so I was not a huge fan of that from day one when you said it.
Right. So I went to the doctor to think maybe this is what's going on.
I'm about to sneeze.
Oh, God bless you. And also you. So went to the doctor. She's great. My doctor's great. She doesn't just write a script and say, here, go fill it. She kind of talks you. Okay, why are you thinking this? What's going on? And so,
Which if your doctor's not doing that, you need to find one that is.
Yes.
So vital.
Yes. You don't need to just be another number. You need to actually, feel like you're being cared for. She talked me through some things, and she's like, I think you're just probably a little overwhelmed with everything you have going on. She said, you've lived how long with this? And I'm like, I'm in my 40s. Like, I've always kind of felt like I've dealt with it. And she's like, I don't think we need to medicate you for that. I think you might just be a little overwhelmed, and sometimes that can feel like anxiety, can feel like you're overwhelmed. She said, so let's try going up on your medicine and see how you react with it. Because I had an appointment again in 2 weeks for blood work, my annual blood work. And so I was like, okay. For me, I'm like, oh yes, quick fix. Let's do this.
You love a quick fix.
I do love a quick fix. It's like I love vacuuming because you can see lines in the carpet and it's like instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it, and I'm super sensitive to medicine. They say, it can take whatever.
No, day one.
2 to 4 weeks. Literally like 2-3 days in, it hits me and I'm like, this is not what I want. I felt jumbled in my mind. I felt it was bad. I didn't have the best of times. I said I would just rather deal with how I was mentally and just kind of figure things out and deal with it instead of having to, retrain your chemicals or let them be balanced back in your brain. So we immediately went back down after a week, went down to the original medicine, and it takes a couple weeks for me to like kind of mellow back out. And so there was maybe three weeks that I was a little uneasy. I did have a panic attack in church, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta not go, but I went back into my office where it was quiet and where I could breathe and I could talk it out with my friend. And then after that, it's been getting better because my chemicals are balanced again, and just realizing, hey, listen, you were just a little overwhelmed. You don't got to go and change
not about medicine every time.
Right. So,
Maddie loves a quick fix.
yeah, you've said that 3 times.
Just want to make sure everybody knows Maddie loves a quick fix.
Most people want a quick fix. They don't want to have to work through things.
So what's the Lord and Miss Pam and what are we speaking? What's standing out to you in this season?
I think we'll talk about the the God Chasers book. And we have this thing where, let's go, who wants to go deeper with the Lord, and who wants to, we had just finished that book. And so we were on this, yes, let's do whatever we need to do. Let's go. And out of I felt like from nobody but myself, I felt obligated that I needed to join in on this extra little thing. And it messed me up just a little bit because you're doing the sermon series right now, and this past Sunday you talked about conviction and condemnation, and I was all condemnationing myself. It was definitely it was a me thing, and so I spoke with you. You're very kind about everything, and I'm like, listen, I just can't go all in any more than what I am physically doing right now. And so I've been talking to her about that, and she said, well, let's get to they always want to get to the root cause of everything. And so I was talking about with her, everybody has something that they are dealing with. They all just, everybody deals with things differently. And some of us that are hyper focused, we can be hyper sensitive. So we're hyper aware of like what's happening with us, like mentally, physically. Some people can just like shake it off like, and then some of us are very, oh gosh, what does this mean? What does this? Why? Like a hypochondriac.
You are definitely
a little bit.
One of those.
I was a little bit of that growing up too. Yeah. I remember watching something on TV, and I was running around the corner and hit my head and thought I had brain damage. Went crying to my mom. Mm-hmm. And so they've always called me a little bit of that. But it was one of those things that it's okay to not. I was dealing with not being okay instead of just like understanding what was happening in my mind, what my body has been going through, and all of these other, hormone changes and everything that has been happening, that I had to be reminded that it's okay to not be okay. And sometimes we kind of feel, we kind of end up being hard on ourselves because we're like, listen, we have dealt with this trigger before. We have surpassed it. We have gotten through it. We know how to get through it. And then whenever it triggers you, you kind of are like, oh crap, what have I done to cause this? What's going on inside of me? Like, what am I not doing enough of? Or, what have I stopped doing? Why am I causing these feelings again and all this kind of stuff? But instead of just reminding myself that it's okay to not be okay, and that if I'm not in the all-in extra thing, then I'm not disappointing anybody, because a lot of it is I want to do whatever you need me to do because I'm your biggest supporter. And so, it's a lot of, well, if I don't do it, I'll be letting my husband down, but also my pastor and also my boss. And just heard my therapist, Miss Pam, just talking with me about saying, it's okay. You literally are doing everything that you physically and mentally can do, and you need to be okay with that. Some people need to be pushed. Some people don't need to be pushed, because we push ourselves enough internally. Like, I already push myself to be the best that I can be in doing everything that I do. And so I don't need the extra motivation like some people do to keep going, to go further, to do the best that they can do. And so it took me a little bit to finally just be like, it's okay. It's okay where I am. Yep. God is not upset with me that I, can't physically or mentally or emotionally push any more than I am pushing. And he loves me where I am. Like, he's not upset with me because I can't go like everybody. Like you go. And you have never once made me feel like I need to follow you. You know what I mean? Like, you've always met me where I'm at in life, in any like journey. But I also never want to like disappoint you either. And I try to push myself more than I can. But I just can't push myself like that anymore like I used to. Like, it's maybe perimenopause, or maybe it's just where I am in life, and just still having, to remind myself daily, like, the Lord is with me and he is okay with where I am in my journey. And it's fine that I'm not, chasing or running like I feel like everybody else is. It's a different path for me. It's a different, I have to jog. I can't like sprint like some people want to do. And that's okay.
Well, in every track meet, there's different, there's 100-yard dashes, and there's, 200 meters, and there's, cross country, and there's the javelin throw, and all those sorts of things. And so just because I'm a sprinter and you're a, cross country runner, neither one of us are more valuable or less valuable to the kingdom of God because of how we run our race. We both have a race in front of us that we have to run, the race set before us, not the race that everybody else is running. That's why that scripture is phrased that way. Run the race set before you, not the race that's set before. You can't run my race, and I can't run your race.
No. Even though I try.
Yeah, and
I want to try my hardest.
And honestly, there's
but I can't.
There's things that I've had to make some decisions on. Like even Sunday night, I'm going to Socastee. I'm doing a service there. You don't have to come.
Right.
You don't have to come to these. These are not for you. You're welcome to, but I don't expect you at any of them. That is not my expectation of you. That way, I'm not stopping me, but also I'm not asking you to do something that is outside of something that you're comfortable with doing. And so Wednesday night I'm going to I am a glutton for punishment. In my schedule, I am a glutton for punishment. Yeah. I have a terrible schedule this week. Traveling tonight to Greenville, back. Traveling Wednesday to Clemson, back. Traveling Thursday to Tennessee and back. I'm just a glutton for punishment. And
but your mind and who you are, like, that's what I
thrive on that stuff.
Right.
That stuff excites me, ignites me. I love it.
Right.
And, whenever last Sunday I'm at Socastee, and it was a beautiful service. And I walk away from that, and there's not a part of me that's like, I can't believe Maddie didn't come to this.
Right.
And so again, like we talked about yesterday in service, like that's stuff that you're putting on yourself that nobody else has put on you. And again, I'm saying this not to you because you know this, but to the people out there that are watching this, you place expectations upon yourself that your husband hasn't placed on you or that people in the church haven't placed on you. You place those expectations on yourself, and then you won't be honest enough to say, I can't fulfill those expectations.
I don't think that's true with everybody. There are some
Sure.
In our church particularly, it's like that. But in others, some people do definitely put higher expectations on.
No, I'm saying they do. I'm saying they put higher expectations on pastors' wives or on people, and the pastor's wife isn't willing to say, you've put higher expectations on me than I'm able to fulfill. And so they just let these expectations build up on top of them, and they run and try to figure it all out. And they've tried to run the race that was set before the previous pastor's wife. You know, we'll talk about our family specifically. Christian can't run the race that was set before my mom. You know, there's a race that my mom was running. When my dad passed away, my mom moved to the side. Then Christian stepped in with my brother to run that race as the pastor's wife with my brother. Christian can't run the race that was set for my mom. She has to run the race that was set before her. And so many pastors' wives out there are having to deal with the expectations placed upon them from their husbands, from the community, from the church. And instead of saying, hey, I can't do this anymore, they just build up, bobble, you know, until it boils over, and they just don't know how to say, I can't do that. I can't handle that anymore.
Right. And a lot of it has to, you know, like we know the weight that we as a pastor's wife, or as, you know, the wife of a boss or whatever, or just as a wife in general, we know the weight that we carry for our spouse, or you know, not that we should be carrying, but we want to, you know, we want to carry that burden so that you don't have to carry all of the burden, because, you know, as a pastor, you carry so many burdens that we want to help share and help carry some of that burden for you. So I feel like sometimes a lot of pastors' wives, like you said, they stay quiet. They don't say anything about it. They bottle it up until, you know, it just comes boiling out, and then they're like, oh gosh, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, and we say pastors' wives, and it's not just
it's anybody.
It's mom at home that's overwhelmed with all the stuff she has on her plate, and it's, you know, she's working a job or even a stay-at-home mom, and all the things that she feels like are, you know, nobody to talk to and nobody to, you know, release, you know, her frustrations to or whatever, and we just keep those things bottled up inside, and eventually get to the place to where you're either going to let a lot of things fall through the cracks to where the person that you're not wanting to disappoint will be disappointed because you didn't have the conversation with him or her or whoever it is, saying, hey, you know, I need you to do X, Y, Z. You just let some stuff fall through the cracks, or you're going to get to the place to where you start battling some mental health stuff and figuring out how to cope with all these things.
Right. Yeah. You have to
be honest with the people around you.
You do. Yeah, you have to. And the person that you're blubbering all of this to sometimes doesn't need to have an answer.
Yeah.
They just need to be an ear to hear it, and then to positively say, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this.
Yeah, it was one of the things I learned. What do you need from me?
Right. Not how can I fix you?
Right. What do you need from me?
Right. And sometimes it's just, let me talk. I know it sounds silly, and I know it could sound like I'm off my rocker, but I need to get it out. And so if I'm not journaling it or writing it, then I physically need to speak it out, to get it out of my head and out of my thoughts. Some people, you know, can pretend they're like one of our friends, like if she's having a thought, she like acts like she's typed it out and then just backspaces and deletes it, and then it like goes away. Some people will, open up their door and yell it out their door and then close it and it's off. Or, some people say stuff about, oh, it's just like, just some extra trash, like a napkin running through your yard, and, you see it, but then you either pick it up or throw it away or just, let it keep going. There's all these different little
What's your trick?
ways. I talk it out.
Oh.
That's what I was saying. Like, I have to tell somebody. I have to speak.
Do you feel like when you're
something.
talking about it that it...
So for me personally, the more I keep it in, the more I feel like my mind likes to hyper focus on that one thing, and then it'll start turning into something deeper or something more and more and more, where it just kind of keeps compacting on each other.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can just get it out and somebody can just say, okay, or just the fact that I can release it that way, it helps me not hyper focus and keep my thoughts on that same thing, because, it'll turn into one thing that will then turn into something else and then turn into something else. And instead of just it being one simple little thing that has bothered me, is now 10 things that are super heavy, and I am, wanting to have a panic attack type thing. So for me, helps for me to.
You're not
to
wanting
speak
to
it
have
out.
a panic attack.
No, nobody wants to have a panic
But
attack.
that's what you just said. Like not you're wanting to have a panic attack. You.
This is what we do.
I just want to make sure that, like, people watching, it's not like she wants to have a panic attack.
No.
Like you're not doing the things you need to do that's leading you to a panic attack. So, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know what you were saying?
No, I was just talking about how I have to release thoughts that can end up building up and building up and building up.
Until you have a panic attack. So you do that because you don't want to have a panic attack.
No. You have me confused
Okay.
now.
We'll have to rewatch that. But you don't want to have a panic attack. That's the way you
wants to have a
right.
panic
But that's the way you
attack.
phrase it. That's not what she say.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's how I phrased it.
Well, I'll have to watch it back because I feel like that's
Your eyes
what
look
she
a
said.
little glassy. I feel like you're tired.
I am tired. This is
You
my
have wore
fourth one of
yourself
the day. I'm
out.
exhausted.
I
It's
think
been a long day.
I think you haven't heard me clearly. Because
It happens.
I don't.
It happens.
Nobody wants to have a panic attack. It keeps me from having a panic attack if I can just go ahead
Yeah.
and release the one simple thought
Yeah.
instead of holding it in, and then it just boils over into a panic attack if I don't just get it out.
No, I get it.
Do you, though?
I totally get it.
Do you understand?
Totally understand. I just want to make sure that the people watching understood.
I feel like they understood. I feel like you need
with
to cancel some stuff on your calendar this week.
Can't do it. Sorry.
And sometimes you just need to say no.
Just say no.
There's
There's no hope in dope.
Right. Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say no.
Is that a thing? You want
Just say no.
just
Just say no.
that's it? That's all you got?
Just say no.
Just say no. Say
No. Like that.
hey, can you go?
Do you know? Can
I
you
know
say
it?
no?
No.
You can.
I'm literally the worst at saying no.
You told me no to a puppy.
Well, that is easy to say no to because all I'm doing is telling words matter to me. So when you say to me, the next time I act like this, you have to tell me no. I don't care what I do. I don't care what I offer. It doesn't matter. You have to tell me no. And so I've held you to your word.
I know. They're just so darn cute.
They're so darn cute, but we don't need another puppy.
We don't.
I know.
I know, but I want it because it's so cute and little right
But
now.
you want it right now.
Yeah.
Right now you want it.
Maybe I should foster puppies.
You should
until
foster puppies.
They need to be
You should foster
adopted
puppies.
out.
In somebody else's home, you should foster them.
Yeah, you're right. I don't like the. – yeah. Okay.
Exactly. You don't even remember your sign off?
I don't. Just say no.
No,
That was not
that's
it?
not it.
What was it?
I don't know.
Let me look back.
Oh my Lord!
I literally.
You need to write it on the back of your thing right there. Really
Did I
big.
write it in there?
I don't know. You need to.